Hey guys, good evening and welcome to another one of Making a Better Life live streams. I wasn't going to do tonight, but then somebody pointed out in the chat, this is for you guys to have somewhere to go and converse. So I've got an order on at the minute for another batch of pens, and it was my plan to get them done this weekend and the first next couple of days this week. I've come to set up to rush and get it done ready for the live, and I've got a few issues. So issue one, I've snapped my pilot drill. I had a lovely blade pilot drill that piloted the pens bang centre, and they gave me a shoulder that picked up my main jobbing drill. So I've kludged together, I've tried a couple of other drill bits, it's not worked. So I've just cut the end off a nail that's the right diameter. I'm going to see how we do with that. That's not the biggest problem, however. The biggest problem is the centre steady has been next to some damp blanks and it's absorbed some moisture and it hardly moves now. So particularly on this one, I've waxed it. Bet you can't hear me roughly with my mic, can you?
Hello, 1, 2, testing.
Yes. Sorry, I'm past it, guys, and I'm in a lot of pain with my sciatica. So I'm going to crack on after I've had a look at the chat. So I'm going to pop you overhead and have a read, see what's going on. Number one, how's the sound? I'm afraid my last live, I allowed the batteries to run out before the end. Hi, Leona, Seth, Martin, Robert, good to see you. Who else have I seen there? Stace, hello. John, hold on a second. Sorry, I'm losing it. Right, oh, Mark, sorry, nearly missed you there. My hair, sorry. Yeah, Stace, that's almost for you. I pulled my hair shield off and the hair was, I've not cut to the camera I'm looking at, have I? I pulled the Air Shield Pro off and my hair was going crazy. I thought, I'm not going to put that right because I know at least one person will enjoy it. Right, guys, so I'm going to put you overhead and I'm going to crack on. Excuse me. So these pens are for one specific client and she's doubled the batch size at the minute, and I've had to delay because of what happened with my business partner. So I'm a bit out of practice with them, etc, etc. I've used our old kitchen floor, which had to come out, which is white oak. We both, our company and Open Narrative, who buy these pens, are big into upcycling and reuse and sustainability. These literally travelled from our kitchen to the workshop and then get cut up and turned into pens. So yeah, that's what we're using. I've cut them down to as close to square as I can get them without breaking my neck. It's all about trying to get this done quick, really, with these. If you want to stop at any point or ask a question or anything, put Q's up, as more the better, and capital ones, and I will try and keep an eye on the chat. Hi, Gav. So I hold these in these gripper jaws from Record. Are they gripper? No, they step jaws, they're called. But for holding square stock, they're great, and I prefer them to the pen jaws because there's a bit more versatility. There's two sizes that you can hold on the inside. I use a cone center here, it just works out better, as you'll see later. You know what, guys, I might not talk you through this. I'll talk you through the bit where it all goes wrong because my center steady's not performing. Hi Terry, thanks for coming in. I'll just turn the lathe off. That's not what I meant to do, is it? So it's been a busy one today, hasn't it? Glad we heard that. I have just changed belt and I think I've over tightened it. Lay it off. Shield off. Glad I caught that. Nobody likes it when there's a funny squeak you can't identify. Now, was it slipping or was it too tight? It's in the grooves, okay. See how that sounds. I know where that noise is coming from. Try again. Right, so can anyone guess what were happening there? The end of these blanks are cut square and I use the back of the jaws as a reference also for my depth. And I'd not gone all the way to the back of the jaws there, so it was the squeaking was the blank resting against the back of the jaws. I had a bit of a bum twitchy moment then, thinking it was going to be an expensive do. Right, spindle blank, so spindle roughing gouge. This is the Sobe inch and a whatever it is, inch and a quarter. Why do I just use the skew on that bit? That's because that's the area I'm going to reference the centre steady. Anyone else? Daniel, hi, thanks for coming, mate. Good to see you. Right, I've already got a good enough dimple there, so I'm not going to mark it with a skew. I'm going to get the centre steady on and we can have a drill. If anybody notices an order of operations that would make this better, please do PM me. It's a while since I've done it, so I don't know how... I don't even know whether I'm doing it how I've worked out was the most efficient. I've now lost my spanner. You know how I managed to do this at all with the level of disorganisation I'm capable of? It's quite a miracle. Bye, Seth. Sorry you can't stay, mate. Oh, someone's helping you. Can you send them round here next, Seth? The contents of my shop are spread between the front room and the van at the minute. And the loft space is being repurposed. Right, let's see what we can do. Mark, I've never turned a pen with a kit. What this is a week before one of our first shows. I got my lathe and I thought I can't go and not try and sell something. I'd only got a bowl gouge and a roughing gouge, so I had a pop at, oh this is going to be difficult. I had a pop at making something, couldn't work out what to do. Made a pen that just works off the simple insert from a biro, and they were the best seller. I underpriced them a little bit, but from that event we got a client that really likes them, and well, when I'm making them at a good pace, they're not, you know, they make us a little bit of money, but it's all about the fact that this is, you know, what else am I going to do with these floorboards? And these are going out to people that buy journals. They've been sold all over the world. We've got, I heard the other day actually one went out to New Zealand, which put a little smile on my face. Really, that person should perhaps buy local to themselves, but what was I doing? I'm drilling. Right. Let's see how this this works, and let's get you on another camera angle. So I'm going to drop the speed to about 300. It's where I'm comfortable drilling with this. Excuse me. Hi Leona. Have I already said that? I'm miles away. Right, before you lock the tool rest down, let it centre. So bring it up to the work, then lock the tool rest down. Hold your chuck, unlock your quilt, and advance. This pilot is short enough, I'm just going to go the whole way with it. One thing I'm going to tell you tonight, guys, just so you don't accuse me of bailing if it happens. What's that at the bottom edge of this camera? You can't, that camera's died. Crud. That's live. Why would I lose a camera now? That's just not what I need. You can't really see what I'm doing there either. Hold on. Thanks, thanks, Stace. I've just seen it, I think, as your comment went up. Right, sugar lumps. It was nearly a... I've just knocked the camera and everything, haven't I? I told you it was going to go funny. Crud. Right, where's the middle of this thing? What that was, it was the number one most taper to two most taper sleeves falling off the back of my tiny Jacob's chuck. How frustrating. Right, up to the big drill. It's a 200mm long drill bit this. I've got 140mm poking out of the chuck. And it's just the right size for the collar of a biro insert. Oh, was I doing in builder's bum? I'll get my mother telling me off if she's watching this in other room. Wear your belt. Right. I wasn't concentrating then, so I lost the count. I normally go 8 to 12 rotations and then clear the chip. I've just found it more consistent. I'm sorry, this is the really not a very good angle for you. I don't know what I can do with that frozen camera. Stace, do you know what you can do? Can I remove it and add it back? Right, that noise is telling me I might be coming out the side of the pen already. Not good. Yeah, what I was saying earlier is if I have like half a dozen losses, i.e. the drill wanders out the side, I'm gonna stop doing this and do something else and wait till I can service this centre steady, because that really is what expedites this drilling process. Because otherwise it's just, you know, when I first started doing these I was getting like one pen out of every 10 attempts, and then I got down to one loss out of every 10 pens, and this one so far is going alright. However, you just never know until you get to the next part of the procedure. The other thing that happens if you stay in too long is you will overheat and you will set the chip in your flute. Nobody wants set chip in the flute. Stuff happens live in life. Thinking on my toes is what I'm all about, I suppose. We get in there. It'd help if my tailstock moved a bit freer, but it never has. Getting greedy then and staying in too long. I'm going to put your overhead because that might be a bit better. Is that camera still frozen as well? Yeah, it is. I'm just going to try removing and re-adding that camera, guys, see if anything happens. Wake up, mouse! Nah, it's had it. Right, we've got nothing on that sauce, so there we go. Oh well. OBS gets right up my chuff. I'm going to get some better cameras, I think, when I've made back the money I've spent on the gimbal, etc. Right, that's us to depth. First things first, check if we've come out the side, which we won't have at that thickness. Hi Nick, thanks for popping in, mate. You're on at 8, aren't you, pal? Providing I don't crash and burn after this, I shall come. Yeah, Dark, it's I do just peck at it, just in a little bit, out a little bit. So the force you were seeing was just me sliding the bit back up to where it had last left the cut. This is where a simpler centre steady would be a great idea. You know, the one Steve Jones uses that just drops over. If I could engineer something like that that'll fit in my workspace, I'd be laughing. Because that is an unnecessary long part of the process, that. This is why we've gone back. This is why I'm using a cone centre and not my normal ring centre, is it fits better in the hole that we've drilled. Not too much back pressure on this from the tailstock. Hi Mark, you're alright, pal. Right, this, I'm going to bring you to the other camera and then settle with it there. Focus you. This is the template that I use for these pens. So we've got the profile of the pen on this bottom edge with the nib and the top of the pen. and then that corresponds to little lines that you can't see, or you can just see them there, which mark where the grooves in the pen are. And then the points directly opposite these channels are the point at which the pen needs to be that diameter. So that's just cut out a piece of hardboard after tracing the pen on a piece of paper, and this one's been working fine. First thing I need is my reference point, which will be at my tip end of the pen. So I'm going to refocus you again, guys. Sorry I'm having to do this live. It's not ideal, is it? There we go. Excuse me, scratching my mic. I want to get onto pen kits actually, just because I've a few people that would really enjoy them. I'm playing with my gouge again, and I'm still not happy with the grind I've got since I bought the new jig. I'm very happy with the jig, but I'm not happy with how I'm using it yet. I'll learn. So I just want to come down to a point here which gives me my reference for the length of the pen. And now my template will sit in, and it gives me a reference for the tail of the pen and the centre of the pen. And then what I can do is make some room to work at the base. Still leaving plenty of meat there at this stage. I then need to thin down both the centre and the tail at certain points, so I offer up my reference, go where my width point is, and then I've got my gauge. The reason I start at the tail end is if the drill's wandered out anywhere, it'll be here. Sorry, that one. Yeah, I think I'd like this grind a little longer. That's about there. Now this step is the step I often forget, is stop the lathe and see if there's an hole from the drill bit. Yeah, I'd have to, thanks Nick for telling me that, but I would have to go up a ladder and get into the positive pressure cabinet to unplug it, which, oh no, I can do it going up the ladder. Let's try, see if we get anywhere with that. I can get to the junction here. Sometimes I just go into device manager, Nick, and uninstall and reinstall, but you never know when that's going to force a reboot. I'll just switch and see if it's come back, although it won't have because I've deleted the source. Let me just re-add the source. Nah, it's still that frozen image. Let me try adding it as a new source. Thanks for being patient, guys. I really appreciate it. Are you being patient? I'm not reading the chat. Come on, camera. Yeah, she's back. Thanks, Nick. I were a bit scared of doing that live, but it's worked. Where was I? Done the tail, centre width. You need your gouge. Speed wise, out of interest, I turn at the full speed on this belt, which is the centre belt on the Coronet Herald, giving me 1868 RPM. It's a small enough blank that once you've got it in round, that's plenty safe. Right, so centre mark, get this to width. There we go. It's now about just following that curve. That's marked my end. I'm just going to check I've not come through, but I can feel there I've not come through. I can't keep up with the chat at the minute, guys. Right, other end of the pen. And then it's just a blending operation, really. See how that looks on the pattern. Not bad. We've got a little hump here. And I'm not worrying about perfect tool lines because I am going to sand it. This wants to just sweep out a little bit quicker there. Right, now we need to mark some grooves. So a point tool made from a screwdriver. Offer up my template. We've got one there and one there. And I go deep with these because I tend to I allow for the sanding. And I'm just demarcating where I want the end of the pen as well. So now we can stop and have a look. Close enough after a bit of sanding that. Just check the chat. It's all gone a bit Monty Python. Don't forget it's the charity's channel, not mine, this, guys, so let's keep everything sweet petite. What we're doing? Sandpaper, that's what we're doing. Ah, there you go. I've come through the side, right at the end. Oh, these are the ones that are the most irritating because you literally don't see them until now. Oh, now the other camera's froze, has it? What's going on here? Guys, I'm going to call this in a minute because everything's going wrong. I'm losing cameras at a rate of knots. Yeah, with that being right at the end, I reckon I can fill it. I don't like to fill it, but I reckon I can. So, paper, super glue, dust. Yeah, when I get a very tiny hole like this, I will fill them. Normally this would just be going on the pile. And when it's right at the tip like that, it's not a problem. The only problem I've got at the minute is I ain't really got any fine enough chip. Because that's not even remotely filled the hole. Can you see the day I'm having, guys? Oh! Excuse me. I'm going to sand it, that'll create some dust. Sand about 400, 500, something like that. I've not got my extraction on at the minute because I'm wanting to collect this. I'm going to take that up a bit to maybe 700. Hi Keith, thanks for popping in. Unfortunately, I'm not having great luck tonight with these. Yeah, Keith, whilst you're here, I've just bought a massive batch of the cyanide from Chestnut. But when I'm getting towards the end of this, I thought I'd give the stuff that you've got a try. I'll give you a shout when I get there. Guys, I might have to go and sit down in a minute. Right, is that going to be enough dust? That'll do. That'll do, pig, that'll do. Right, so that was 120. Step to the 180. I might as well get my sheets ready now. These are all still boxed up. 240. 320. Nice one, Keith. I appreciate that. So I've always found with this white oak that whatever tool marks are left come out with the 120 lovely. When I get a bit quicker with these, I sometimes do them with the skew, and even though white oak can be quite fractious, that cuts down on my time, but I haven't used the skew significantly for a while, so I'm probably quicker doing these with the gouge. I'm going to finish this one even though it's going to be a bit of a second. I'm just surprised that we got a straight hole. Back of my head scary. Oh, sorry guys. I've not got many more options really, have I? This camera's working, but the main the decent camera is frozen for some unknown reason. Unplug it and plug it back in again maybe. No, because it's now not even reset to the EOS utility screen, which it should have, so that's not working. Hey, well, technology, eh? To err is human, but to completely foul things up takes a computer. I don't normally use Yorkshire grit on these because we try to keep costs down. Plus with the ridges I'm picking stuff, well mind you, I'm using wax anyway, aren't I? So now what I tend to do is tool rest back, is I'll just neaten up the tip. And just start working the tail that I want into this, but again leaving a little bit of meat there for applying as finish. Tool rest out again, drop my speed all the way, and then it's just homemade shine juice for starters. What was Gav asking? It is, yeah, it is. Yeah. It's alright when you get into the flow, but you know, when you're learning how to run a business and life and everything else, it's good experience that just like I'm having to put it out of my mind that my best camera's frozen and I can't really be bothered to set it up again, so I'm just going to leave it as is. And I mean, again, this live's for you guys, not me. I just wish I could keep up with the chat as well as Emma does. So rinse and repeat on this process. I have two kind of slightly varied methods of application. One was the one I just did where I flood it and then immediately press hard, crank the speed up. The other method of application is get it on and then wipe the speed up and just kiss it, literally. And I tend to alternate between them. So one of them you're burnishing it, the other light one's putting a slightly thicker coat on, and then because it's shellac based, when you put that thin second coat on and burnish it hard, those two coats just become one. And I don't know, I might be kidding myself, but I just alternate between a gentle application like this and then give it a few seconds to dry, and then the next time I come back I go with pressure. Hiya Mark, thanks for coming in, mate. Sorry I didn't spot you there. Don't even know whether my chat's frozen or not. Hi Mike. Don't get us singing that again, Gav. See, there's the problem with the blue shop towels. I can't afford safety, well I've got safety cloth, but I can't afford to use it on these at the moment. But I am thinking of moving away from the blue shop towel. So again, this is where a very speed lathe does help, because otherwise you're just applying it with the lathe stood still. You don't want to apply too fast, otherwise you just wear most of it. What was the bum clap comment, by the way? Did I miss that? And when you're applying pressure like that, it literally sets and you can go straight to a second coat. Thanks Nick. Yeah, please guys, thumbs up. You know, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. I'm sorry our lives aren't much to speak of at the minute. I'm actually going to be putting my focus into the videos a bit more, because whilst I really enjoyed doing the January clock challenge, it made me realise how rusty my editing skills were. It took me half as long again as it should have taken editing that. Yeah, I should be faster. I mean, that's the thing with editing, is anyone can be as creative as anyone else. The fact that I've trained is all that's going to do is make me a little more efficient at how I edit things. And to be honest, when I first learned to edit, it was on non-linear systems, literally takes tape, and yeah, very, very different. But makes you think about things, makes you be efficient, because it was such a long-winded kludge of a process. Loved it though. Hi Colin. Which Steve is it that's in? Have I missed a Steve? Chris, have I said hello to you, mate? Oh, Steve's got hello. Can I have some dinner, Steve? I'm starving. What did I do on there? 3 or 4? Definitely a second this, because of that all. Let's do another couple of coats of that. I do top coat these with beeswax, which it just mats them down a little bit, and again, they're probably not the hardest wearing on this finish, but with a thing like a pen, by the time this finish is gone, the oils from your skin are going to have started soaking into it, and you know, they're meant to age. I just hope people don't chuck them. I hope people do go to the effort of replacing them with an insert, you know, replacing the insert and continue using them. That is the point. Because think about how often somebody sits down and snaps a biro. The insert's perfectly fine. Just the plastic that's gone. This is where these come in. Yes, Mark, passage of time. Why did that bit resonate so much with you? What was that? It was just, yeah. You know, I think I've watched that video more than anyone else, to be honest. It was really nice to see little flashes of the work I used to do. You know, I kind of started enjoying it again. So I am, and I'll tell you now, I mentioned it in Ruben's live earlier. If time allows, I am going to be trying to keep up with the YouTube cross-channel challenge, and I'm also, as a challenge to myself, going to try and do them all as music videos to all those songs that I class dance floor fillers, the ones that just make me want to boogie. As is was the song last week. My mate pointed out to me, perhaps not the best choice of songs lyrically with today's climate, but I don't listen to lyrics, I just like music and moving and walking backwards and forwards like a blithering idiot. Right, oh no, that's not it. Hold on a second, guys. On the community allotment I work with, one of the guys keeps bees, and I take the beeswax that's not good enough for candles and the things he uses it for. I filter it and just keep snapping bits off, which is absolutely ideal for what we're doing here today. In fact, next time I do a big batch, if anyone wants a little nugget, I might sell some to bring a little bit into the charity at a nominal, give them away and let people make a donation if they want. That's fair. Right, melt the wax on with friction. I do like to try and get a bit down into the grooves, which then needs scraping out with your finger, but still. Ooh, roast beef. And then just rinse and repeat on those sections. Like Wayne always points out, don't press too hard because you're just pulling the wax off, and particularly beeswax with how soft it is. And then it's just a case of parting her off. Any beginners, don't move your tool rest whilst the lathe is turning, please. So I tend to use the skew just to come to a point until my live centre stops moving. I then remove my live centre. And then just part her off like that. We've got a little more of a nub than I'd normally leave there. So I'm going to go for the 180 to take that off. And that's that gone. 240. 320. And then a little bit of cloth and a little bit of the shine juice. A little rub with the beeswax. Polish off any residue from the blue cloth, and then it's as simple as long strip down a pen. This is the only problem I've got at the minute. I haven't found a use for this bit of the pen or the lid yet, and I haven't found anywhere that'll sell me just the inserts. So that should just press fit, and then I did the flick test, and this one's going to fail the flick test because it's not going to hold in. So easy fix. Easier fix if you've not run out of sellotape. Boom. I'll use, I'll find my knife first, there it is. Normally, and I will replace this with clear sellotape, but if you take a tiny sliver of, in fact it's probably better showing you this with black tape, a tiny sliver of tape onto, where's the camera? Onto the shank there, and usually one turn or less than a turn is enough, and this lecky tape is going to be even thicker than the sellotape you'd normally use. What I've not done, I've not put a blob of finish on the tip there. Hey Stace, my hair's getting in my mouth. Can I tie it back properly yet, or do you still need it all cray cray? So yeah, that, like I said, this insulation tape's way too thick. So I'm going to fix that with sellotape later, but for all intents and purposes it's a pen. It works. Sorry I can't show you on the other camera. What time are we on? 6:52. Well, I've taken longer on that pen than it normally takes me to do, about 7 or 8, which shows I've not done them for a while and my equipment's not quite right. So I think I might knock it on the head, guys, now. Give you all time to go and get a drink and everything before Emma's live. Sorry, I'm just reading your comment, Dark. Yeah, I thought of that. I've done a few different play around ideas with sealing. That little bit of sellotape's just been the expedient one, and it's also something that I include in the care notes for the pen for people when you're getting a new one. If the wood's moved at all, because it does move, I just tell them to get another little bit of sellotape. But I mean, it doesn't. You really have to flick it to get it to fly out. So yeah, guys, my left leg between here and here is on fire. I actually physically stuck a cocktail stick in it the other day. I don't know what I was doing, but I looked down at my leg and there was a cocktail stick sticking out of it. Threw the trousers into my leg. Luckily didn't damage it, managed to get some tea tree oil in it. Wrong camera, aren't I? You might as well stare at my ugly mug. And cray hair. Yeah, so the sciatica's bad, and I'm going to call it. You guys can go and have a rest and get through to the next one. Thanks ever so much for coming in, guys. I don't know how many has been in, but I appreciate it. I wasn't going to do this. I want to get something a bit more substantial together for us lives. I don't want to just do them for the sake of it, although I do want to keep up our schedule of something weekly, be it a live or a video release. Whether I'll manage that at the minute, I don't know, because it's filter's just stopped. Everything's totally up in the air. I don't know whether this is it now, it's just me, or whether that's going to change again. So yeah, just I'm playing it day by day, see what comes, eh? So just have a quick look. It is really difficult drilling these, to be honest, Bailey. I don't advise it. The techniques to mitigate drill wander is go with the largest drill bit size you can get away with. That's 4mm, 200mm long. It wants to wander, but a good pilot hole, making sure your blank is completely level and supported with centre steady. That's the only way you're going to do it. And peck drill, in a little bit, out, clear the flutes of the drill, in a little bit, back out, and clear the flutes of the drill again. But as an item, this isn't an efficient process or a particularly profitable item to make, but it's the ethos of it, which is why I'm carrying on doing them. And when I get into the flow, like I say, I usually knock 4 to 6 out an hour, which, you know, they're all right. You know, that's about right. After everything else, you know, I'm not like putting myself out of pocket or breaking even, but you know, it's tight. And in a way, I like that because it forces me to think like a production turner, which is something that, you know, I kind of like the idea of. I know a lot of people balk it and say, no, you won't like it. But some people, like me, like Robbo, like Steve Jones, just can still find joy in that repetitive task. I'm sure a load of you guys as well. I mean, Nick likes sanding. Good on you. I wish I liked it. I mean, I do like seeing a good finish come, but I want it to be sandpaper, next grade, done. And, you know, as you get better with your sanding, you do start improving. I'm now sanding a heck of a lot less than I was. And that's not just the quality of the cut. It's because I know what pressure I'm applying with the paper. I know when it's worth sanding by hand and where it's worth sanding by hand and when to use an impelled sander or power sander, you know. And it's all a learning curve that we're all on, isn't it? Just going to check the chat again, guys. Thanks, Mark. Like I say, last minute thrown together. I'm now going to just be carrying on turning these pens until I've got the batch done, and then move on to some other projects of friends and finish the loft. I wish I could, if this camera had been working, I was going to take you up and show you the loft space, because editing that video proved to me that stood here with this monitor isn't ideal. So now I've got a space with a second monitor that's a bit bigger, and I can sit down and edit up there. So I can film and go up and edit. I've also got another bench up there, which I'm thinking of turning into like a small jobs bench, or even a paint bench, because I could easily fit a spray extractor up there. I say easily, I could. And the idea being is that when I replace these webcams, they go up there. So we've got coverage somewhere else as well. But all up in the air. Got no money at the minute, and the van's due its insurance, and and I think warranty is worth it, to be honest, in this instance. So that's why I've got no money, because that's all put aside for that. You're welcome, Steve. You're welcome, Mark. Cheers, mate. Barry, no worries. You haven't missed out overly exciting. You might have in the chat, but the turning was, yeah. I'm not knocking your sanding, Nick. Your sanding's great. It's just one of those things. Is I personally want it to be over quicker before it started, in fact. But I need more skew practice. Thanks, Keith. I'll take it easy, mate. I will do. You too. No problem, Stace. Look forward to it. Mark, yeah. I might have to get in touch, actually, Mark, about spheres. And resin. I've got a bit. I'm not going to say too much more than that, but I've got an idea, and I just want to pick someone's brain on processes, and I don't want to hassle Emma too much because she's so busy. So, guys, thank you very much for coming. I'm going to love you and leave you, and I'll see you over in Emma's chat. The button's over there, so and which one do I press first? Do I press it in Facebook, or no, you press it in OBS? Thanks very much.